Welcome to another episode of Dxtalks, Season 6, Episode 144. We're really glad to have you on this platform so we can discuss more of what's happening in the digital space. Today is a special episode with our partners from IDC, with Mr. Hamza, who will be discussing what's happening in the kingdom, what are the latest updates regarding the Kingdom 2030 vision, and what's really happening in the IDC CIO Summit that is coming, and knowing that we are the digital leaders platform and the CIOs of the future are those leaders. So with that, let me welcome Mr. Hamza on the platform. Mr. Hamza, welcome on the platform. Hope all is well.
Thank you so much, Rudy. A pleasure to be here with you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So let's start. Please introduce yourself to our audience so that they can know you better.
Sure. My name is Hamza Naqshbandi, and I am the Associate Vice President for IDC in Saudi Arabia and Bahrain. And my role entails the overall leadership of the IDC business across our lines of businesses, including research, advisory, data and analytics, custom solutions, as well as events and conferences in Saudi Arabia and Bahrain.
Great. So do you mind also introducing what is IDC and what are IDC events?
Sure. So IDC stands for International Data Cooperation, and we are a premier global provider of market intelligence, advisory services, and events for the information technology, telecommunications, and the consumer technology markets. So we were founded in 1964, and IDC is a wholly owned subsidiary of the International Data Group, IDG, which is the world's leading tech, data, and marketing services company. So Saudi has been a key focus area for IDC, and we have been tracking the Saudi market for over 25 years. IDC has a very strong footprint in Saudi Arabia for more than a decade, with a dedicated team of consultants, analysts, conference executives, project managers, and relationship managers based out of our Riyadh office. So IDC is very closely aligned with the kingdom's digital journey and has forged several long-term partnerships with local Saudi organizations, both in the public and the private sectors. And major ICT enabling public sector entities have relied on IDC for almost a decade to conduct nationwide research for strategic programs. And we are proud to be the preferred source of ICT data in the kingdom. Besides our research and advisory services, IDC's events portfolio is extremely diversified in Saudi Arabia, where we arrange numerous custom and syndicated events, both digitally and in person, catering to the kingdom's ICT sector.
Thank you. Thank you. I think this is, there's a lot of information I didn't know. So I think you're quite well aligned to the Saudi 2030 vision by organic, without forcing anything. It's happening. It's happening. So, what are the CIOs? Why the CIOs are becoming the digital future leaders?
That's a very interesting question, Rudy. So, as the lines between business and IT blur, the CIOs are tasked with more than just developing, implementing, and managing technologies and information management strategies. As the business environment gets more unpredictable and complex, the CIO function needs to be a driver of innovation that actually benefits an organization. We have seen a whole set of new priorities emerge for CIOs around establishing new business capabilities that essentially, offer a competitive edge to the whole business. And interestingly, we're already seeing Saudi CIOs take the lead here, with about 54% of CIOs that IDC surveyed in the kingdom cited that they are creating new products and services or enhancing their existing ones to stay relevant in the new digital economy. Another 43% of Saudi CIOs are developing new business models and partnerships to meet the increasing demand of the public and private sector. So to summarize, we foresee the CIOs to transform themselves from being mere custodians of ICT to catalysts of digital change.
Yeah, I think they're becoming a very good business partner, also enabling those transformations, let's say. I'd love to have a copy of this study that you mentioned, and so we can put it also down in a link, so so our participants can also check it and download it, and then see the information that that IDC has prepared, especially on the kingdom. So, do you mind sharing with us what's happening in the kingdom in light of the Saudi Vision 2030 and the kingdom accelerated pace of innovation and digital transformation? I know we are living there. I was there last week. Uh, there's a lot of things happening, and then I think you're privileged to be inside within the transformation that's happening. So, do you mind sharing with us your thoughts?
Sure, absolutely. So, as we all know, Saudi Arabia's vision for a diversified economy relies very heavily on digital transformation initiatives. And, this is an area that the kingdom has always focused on and heavily invested in, even long before the pandemic. So, the disruptions that were caused by the pandemic, actually emphasized the value of digital transformation more than ever before. And, indeed, digital transformation is no longer a choice for Saudi businesses. It has become absolutely essential. An interesting survey that we did, again, with Saudi CIOs to gauge the level of digital maturity pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. While a lot of global organizations, cited the pandemic as one of the key drivers for them to,
Right.
digitally transform, the kingdom is way ahead of the curve. The country vision that relies on transformation, that relies on innovation, had already understood the importance of digital transformation way before the pandemic, and that reflected in the kingdom's digital response to the pandemic as well. So our Saudi CIO Summit that's coming up is designed to spur debate around this issue and share success stories, in these unprecedented times, to help Saudi organizations actually unleash the power of digital transformation as they adapt to the realities of the post-pandemic new normal.
Yeah, I totally agree on that, and especially the catalyst, which is the COVID. It was a big catalyst to move everything, and then we've seen it with the Saudi. They are ranked, I think, #2 in cybersecurity. They're ranked, so they are highly ranked and they're highly serious about their transformation. So it's not just a target or a vision that they want to achieve, and no, it's way beyond of this. So let's focus a little bit on the IDC summit. And what is it? Who is it for?
Sure. So the CIO Summit is IDC's signature event, and it's an annual invitation-only event that brings together the most influential ICT leaders from the entire ICT ecosystem. So these include end users from the public and private sectors, ICT vendors, the communication service providers, the system integrators, third-party service providers, value-added resellers, distributors, etc., etc. So running under the theme, Accelerating Your Journey to a Digital-First World, the 12th edition of the IDC Saudi CIO Summit is taking place on September 19th and 20th in Riyadh as an in-person event. So, after a 2-year digital hiatus, the event will in-person connect the pioneering ICT leaders in an executive forum where they can share their technology and business challenges and discuss global best practices. And we're very honored to have the Ministry of Human Resources and Social Development as our government partner for the upcoming summit.
Yeah, and also we're happy to be part of this as a media sponsor, because I think it's one of those events that you're really eager to attend and eager to participate. Again, especially knowing what's happening in the world, especially knowing what's happening in GCC and in specific in KSA, I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned, a lot of experiences to be shared, a lot of technology and emerging technologies also that are taking shape with that. So what are the topics that will be covered during that summit?
It's a good question. So the IDC Saudi CIO Summit has been designed to spur debate, share success stories, and help Saudi organizations, unravel the challenges around digital technologies as they adapt to these unprecedented times. So what we aim to do, Rudy, is we aim to demystify digital transformation by talking about real life implications of disruptive technologies such as artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, cloud, and so on and so forth. So we aim to link these technological advancements to the future of Saudi Arabia's transformation drive. So a lot of best practice sharing, case studies, problem solving examples, use cases that Saudi organizations and leaders, the Saudi CIOs, can actually take back and ponder on as they adapt their digital strategies to keep in track with the execution phase of the Vision 2030.
Yeah. I was, as I mentioned last week, I was in the Saudi. I was in Riyadh, and I had a lot of meetings. And between those meetings, I met a couple of CIOs, and I was really amazed of their, not just their knowledge, their understanding, and so on. Because I think at one point of time we were thinking, no, it's not, they're not being updated, and so on and so on. But I think we were under evaluating this, and the CIOs, Saudi CIOs, are really there. They're keen to update their skills. It's a young generation also, which is really playing, and I love this, that the young generation is really playing, because now we know that also the young generation is really who is tech savvy, who are really becoming agile, and then there's a lot of especially in this transformation phase, or agility is key to this. So let's go to what should we expect in the CIO Summit, which is coming within the next 2 weeks, September 19 and 20.
A lot of best practice sharing, open discussions, and insights by global, regional, and locally recognized thought leaders. Obviously, by networking with peers, partners, and industry experts, the attendees will gain a clearer understanding of the way how digital technologies will transform future business models that Saudi organizations need to consider given what's at stake in the kingdom. There's also an opportunity to meet Neil Harbison, who's our celebrity speaker at the summit. Neil is the world's first officially recognized human cyborg, and he will be with us in Riyadh for the summit as well.
That's interesting, I think, to have him on board, because that's the advancements that we are hoping for. And they've done, also with Sophia, if I'm not mistaken, previously.
True.
So technology, robotics, and artificial intelligence is part of this game. So IDC CIO Summit 2022, accelerating your journey to a digital first world, which is happening in Riyadh, September 19 and 20. Do register. I'll put the link down below so you can register and know more information by logging into the website, so you can understand more and then know what's the agenda, what to expect, and everything. With that, any final words so that you can tell our audience?
No, thank you so much, Rudy. Thanks a lot. It was a great chat, and I look forward to welcoming the ICT fraternity at our upcoming CIO Summit. Pleasure to be with you.
Thank you for that, Hamza, and we're really glad that what's happening with the kingdom, what's happening with IDC, aligning itself to that vision, and also being a pioneer in this space. So with that, this is the end of our episode. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.